welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a products I regret buying video. And before I start into these, I do want to disclose, not disclose. I do want to let you know that these are only my opinions. This is stuff that doesn't work for me in some way or another. If you love it, that is on you. You do you. Everything works differently for everybody. So if you love it, let us know down in the comment section below how you made it work. And if you kind of agree with me, let us know as well. And let's keep the conversation down below constructive and make this community as positive as possible. So without further ado, let's get into the beauty products I regret buying. Okay, first off, I want to say this is not skincare stuff or hair care. This is solely makeup products. I decided not to put in any skincare products I regret buying because most of the time I don't like to be wasteful with my skincare. So even if I don't like a product, because I have normal skin, most stuff works for me. So I will suffer through to avoid wastage because it's really hard to try and donate skincare that's already opened. So I wind up just using it till it's done, just to suffer through it until it's over, and then put it in my empties and just not buy it again. With makeup, it's a bit different because I find that if I really don't like something, that I can pass it along to somebody, and a friend of like some friend or whoever. It's a lot easier to pass along or sell makeup than it is to pass along or sell skincare. So the first product I want to talk about is by far the cutest product in this entire regrets video, and that is the Tony Moly Petite Bunny Gloss Bars. I bought the entire collection of this because I could get all the colors. I think there's like 8 colors, I believe, for less than $25. Because they're so cheap, they are very much like $3 a piece USD. They're super cute. If you can see, like, they're all little bunnies at the top. It makes them super adorable. They all have different faces. The issue with this that I find is that they do not go over other lip products. They will actually drag and ball up any other lip product you have on your lips. I've tried them with liquid lipsticks. I've tried them with even just like cream lipsticks. I've tried them with everything, and I find like if you have any product, even lip balm on your lips, they will ball up and it makes your lips look like they're peeling. They do the same thing if your lips are really dry and you have any chappedness on them. They do not work well. They don't sit nicely. They're super cute, and that's pretty much all they got going for them. They're really, there's not a huge amount of color payoff, which would lead me to believe that they were made to put over other stuff like a topper, but they're not, so they don't work that way. I find myself never reaching for them. They kind of sit in my collection because they're cute. That's the only reason I still have them. The next products I have are kind of a generalized product that I regret buying because I don't use them ever. And I've bought 4, I believe. I have 4 in my collection, and I never, ever touch them because I don't find that they are necessary in my routine, and it is the lip liner. I've discussed this before in I think it's like beauty, like truthful YouTube, some tag I did before talking about a step I don't do. I don't do lip liners. I still have some in my collection because sometimes for cosplay, because I want my lipstick to last a lot longer and I don't have the time when I'm in costume quite a lot to come back and reapply lipstick, I will use them. But I have found overall that they don't make my lipstick last any longer than it would if I was just generally wearing them. I find that sometimes they do the same thing as the Tony Moly Gloss Bars. Sometimes they make the lipstick ball up, and it could be because they're just bad quality lip liners, but it's just, I find them not a necessary step in my makeup routine. Next up is another product from Tony Moly, and this is not a knock on Tony Moly's brand. They do quite a bit of really amazing products that are really cute and work really well. It's just these ones don't work for me, or I don't use them. And this is the Tony Moly Luminous Rainbow Highlighter. I will admit I jumped on the rainbow highlighter trend a couple years ago when everyone was like, rainbow highlighters, they're great, buy one. I bought one and I've used it probably twice, and only for, I I used to do like an elf thing for a kid's party at work. I was the elf and I used to put it on for that so that I have like a little rainbow glint on my face. But I never use this in real life. It's never something I reach for. I still have it because I use it for the elf, but it's not something I regularly reach for. It looks really cute. It like the stripes are fairly straight in it and it's easy to just like go right across with a long like fan brush or like a wider type of brush. Just go across once and then you get a really beautiful glittery highlight on your face that looks like a rainbow. But it's not something that is every day. I don't use it every day. I don't want to use it every day because it's just too much for an everyday makeup look. So it's kind of a regret for me because I have other highlights as well that would work just as well for an elf, and it's just I got sucked into the trend. The next product I have is a Western product, and it is the Urban Decay Vice Lipstick Palette. This is gonna be thrown out after this, for sure. You show you how little I've used it. It's actually starting to grow mold. Trigger warning, it's growing mold in two of the colors, like this one and this one up here is like balling up. I don't know if it's mold though, because it's not. Oh, it's mold, yep. And it's molding. So this shows you how much I used it. I bought this when it was half price. I did not pay full price for it, which is good. But this one is, yeah, going in the garbage. I never use it. I don't feel it's useful in any way, shape, or form. And I would never purchase a lipstick palette again. And I haven't since. That is crazy how that molded like that. All right, that is being thrown away. The next product, we're getting back into some K-beauty stuff. I have the Etude House Wonder Fun Park glitters. These are really beautiful. The only issue I have is the application method. That's not broken. That's legit how they expect you to apply it. There is no brush there. It looks just like, I actually thought when I opened it that the brush broke off. So it is totally not something I would repurchase. It is not something I would look to repurchase. The delivery system sucks on both of them. The colors are beautiful, but the delivery system is so awful. I never use them and I probably won't ever use them. It's so sad because they're really beautiful colors. And the next one I have is a Vivid Tint Water from Peri Para. This one I actually got in a set that came with like a little fridge and like a bunch of little lip products and face products in there. I don't like the delivery of this. I don't like the fact that it is so watery. It scares the poop out of me whenever I use it, that I'm gonna dump it and I'm gonna get stained everywhere because it is a lip stain. It's a super watery lip stain. There is no like stopper in it. So if it does get dumped, you're gonna wind up with lip stain everywhere and you're gonna ruin your clothes. You might ruin your floors. You might ruin everything. So this one makes me really nervous. The tint itself is a really nice tint, but it just, the delivery system and the texture of it just scares me and makes me too nervous to really use it on a regular basis. Next up is a product I might get a lot of hate for, but I feel like this is not meant for my skin and the delivery system sucks on it. So this is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. The first thing I want to say why I don't use it very often is the delivery system is awful. I don't like having to dump it out. I know you can buy an extra pump for it for like $12 or $15, but you're already paying almost 60 bucks alone for the freaking foundation. You shouldn't have to pay another $15 for a freaking pump for it. It should come with it if you're paying that much for a foundation. The second thing about this is the texture of it when it's on my face. I have normal to dry skin. This is a fully matte foundation, which for someone with oily skin is amazing. For me, I find it cakes up quite easily. So I don't use it on a regular basis. I may use it more in the summer than the winter when my skin is a little bit leaning more towards the normal side. But in the wintertime when my skin is very dry, I don't like touching this because it just does not sit nicely on my skin when it's dry. Next up, I have a eyeshadow palette. The last two products are actually eyeshadow palettes. I've got one K-Beauty and one high-end one. The eyeshadow palette I do not like is this Vanilla Co one in the Hongdae Funky in the Fall in Soul eyeshadow palette. I don't like this solely because of this color right here. That is not a shadow. That is actually a cream product and I don't understand why it's in there. because every time I use it, any fallout that comes out of any shadow on either side of it goes into it. And when it's got this dark of a color on one side, that fallout gets in there and you'll never get it back out. I don't feel like it's a practical palette. The colors are beautiful in it, but it's not practical whatsoever. So it's something I never reach for, just because you gotta be so careful with it. So it's not something I regularly reach for on a daily basis. All right, we're on to the last product that I do not like. And it's in my Z palette because if you remember last year, I placed an order and I had a Cinema Secrets bottle, like a large bottle of Cinema Secrets brush cleaner that exploded in my order and actually ate through the glue on this packaging. So I had to take the palette out and put it into my Z palette. And it is this one right here. It is the Huda Beauty Emerald Obsessions palette. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but this is only my opinion on this. The texture of this is too soft for me. I really do not like the texture of it. I'm gonna close that so you could just see it because I got another crumbly eyeshadow over there and I don't want blue eyeshadow everywhere. The texture of these makes me feel like I'm wasting a lot of product. If you can see in this one right here, look at that dip in that one. I've used this palette maybe twice, and that's how much of a dip I have in that greeny gold. So it's something that I feel like I waste a lot of product by putting my brush in there. My friend Nicole Chantel's like, you have a heavy hand. And I'm like, but I don't. I just don't understand why it's so dippy. But I do not like the texture of them. I find them too soft for me, and that may be because I have a heavy hand. I'm not gonna deny that I do, I may. But I found that the texture of them for the price point, I feel like I would go through this so quickly because I would find myself hitting pan on them very, very quickly, which for the price tag of 35 Canadian dollars, to me, I don't really like that idea. I'd rather have a palette that's a bit harder like the NYX one that I know I can make last for a very long time over one that's like this, that looks beautiful. The color story is absolutely gorgeous. And I love the color story in the amethyst, the purple one. The purple one as well is beautiful, but I find the texture of them and the formulation of them is not for me. All right, so that is it for the products I regret buying. What other products do you regret buying? Let us know down in the comment section down below. I can't speak today. Or if you have any advice on how to make any of these products work a bit better, I'd love to hear them down in the comment section as well. If you like this video, give me a big thumbs up down below so I know to do more of this type of video. And if you want to see more content from me, don't forget to hit the little red subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when I post new content, don't forget to hit the little bell next to it. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.